move into a much awaited next session, and you'll see no more of this pretty face, if I may, and a much more prettier faces on the stage. We move to the fireside side chat with our chief guest, Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani and Miss Pratibha Jain. Ma'am, may I invite you on stage, please? And Miss Pratibha Jain as well. She has been our biggest champion and supporter. She's a founding trustee of We For Her Foundation, working on gender justice and equality through programs on public infrastructure, prevention of child marriage, and financial literacy for women. She's an alumni of Harvard Law School, Oxford University, and Delhi University. She has been recognized as a top individual lawyer by Forbes Legal Power List 2020 and a General Counsel Award by Forbes Legal Power List 2022. Okay. Point noted, ma'am, and thank you for course correcting. And we dive right into the fireside chat.
If we can just request the camera folks to come on this side so the audience has a view. So I take any opportunity I'll get to talk to Smriti Irani ma'am because, I've had the pleasure of doing a one-on-one conversation with her, and it was something that just opened my mind to possibilities like how. Especially because you don't get that many senior women that you can learn from. It's a very lonely existence at the top. I think, at the level I am in my organization, I'm mostly mentoring. And it's very difficult to find mentors. And I think what I want to do today, ma'am, is there's room full of women and men who are going to just benefit from your thought process and your leadership.
So we should open up the floor for conversations.
Absolutely. But before that, can I just highlight she's a businesswoman. In my head, first and foremost, she's a businesswoman. She's a politician. She's an actor. And, we never say he's a father or but for a mother, I always say it's mother because no matter what we say, it is extra work. So finding, again, women leaders, but then finding women leaders who fulfill so many roles on a daily basis. Her brain must be working overtime. And please take advantage of that. But we'll open it up, ma'am, after your opening remarks on how do you do it?
I think most women just do it, but they don't know how. What drives them possibly is the passion for life. What possibly drives, and I don't speak for the men because I don't know positions and circumstances you come from, but most women thrive on just being given an opportunity. Not many people realize that just the opportunity presenting itself for women is a celebration. So when you understand that one stark reality of life, that we are the lucky ones who had an opportunity. There are many who have aspirations, capacity, but they never meet opportunity. The second joy is when that opportunity meets innovation. The third joy is when opportunity, innovation meets capital. And the fourth joy is when opportunity, innovation, capital meets success. And the greatest joy is when you get credit for it. Because many women succeed. And when success is defined as to whether you achieve the goal or not, many women succeed. But not every woman gets the credit for it. So that is why if you're at the opportunity, you're at the first step. I have seen all 5 steps. Many a times the last step of getting credit for my work, it does not happen. But I have come to that stage in life where if you don't give me credit, I'll start taking it. So, mercifully, most of the ladies in the room right now have not reached step number 5. So, when you cross step number 4 and you meet with success, remember, create those opportunities where you're given credit. So, the journey is going to be a tough one. And once you succeed, it's going to get worse. If you have this one apprehension or this one dream that once you succeed, it will be all rosy and nice, it is going to get worse. Only the insults will be very elegant. That's the only difference. So don't rest. Keep going so that you can go to step number 5 and go back to step number 1 again. Because you have only one life and you have a brain that can fit in everything. I think women from their very birth are habituated to multitasking. Many see multitasking from a perspective of labor, but women multitask emotionally, handling relationships, circumstances from a very early age. So when that capacity meets an opportunity to work, women say, ye to hum kar lenge. So for me, I mean, if you want an opening line, the fact that you're in the room with a fortunate few, you could speak for yourself. You're the fortunate few because you could speak for yourself and what you said was heard. So you're fortunate.
But the hindrances are so many. Like you mentioned, the credit doesn't come easy. And the whole ecosystem sometimes seems to be built to ensure that that credit doesn't come.
No, but that is how ecosystems are built. You cannot deny that reality. You can defy that reality, but at least accustom yourself to that reality and strategize. For instance, there are two young ladies who came on the stage, and I told them both, take the money first. Trophy of it, hai. Take the money first. But then I looked at that gentleman, Tapan is sitting there, and I saw his check. And I asked Pratibha, I said, why does that check say 75,000 bucks, Tapan? So Pratibha told me that's what he asked for. So one lesson, Tapan, always ask for 10 times more. That 75,000 rupees means you were honest enough to ask exactly what you needed. But always ask for a little more. Because today is a reaffirmation that your idea is good enough for Everstone to put money. Right? To get a check from Pratibha Jain's hand is no mean feat. It is an achievement. Because she will deploy capital after much thought. After not only seeing the potential of your business to go from innovation to enterprise, but also see its market value apart from philanthropic value. So the fact that you got this check today, it's not the amount. It is that you went through a due diligence process and you were found to be somebody to reckon with. So now it is up to you to take that photograph, leverage it, so that next time you're standing with a 10 lakh check. Correct?
And push the ecosystem. You're part of an ecosystem now. So push that ecosystem to support. That's true for everybody here. Very quickly before we open up, the Women's Collective. That's an initiative you've created to help women entrepreneurs, is what I understand. What is your thought process behind it, and how can, again, this ecosystem support?
So I'm going to 300 cities across India. I'm going to help 1 lakh women-owned businesses with not only regulatory support, but also then teach them, if they're fiscally disciplined for 3 years in their business, how to get listed at the stock exchange. And then get them trained by experts at the stock exchange so that they can complete their journey of valuation. So what I just told Tapan maybe is not even the tip of the iceberg. There are many people who have great potential, like Lavanya is from Bengaluru. Where is she? Who is into biofertilizers. Now, if I meet somebody like Lavanya in one of my outreaches, then possibly I'll make sure that I take Lavanya's product and go to ICAR. And then I will go to IFCO with it and say, this is great work. Look at the photograph. Primus Partners is there. There is Pratibha Jain there. There is Renu Shah there. Can you tell me how we can help her grow? And then once they say, wow, she has a great product, then go back to the capital market and find her capital so that she can go the next step. Then, in one of my visits to the US or the UK, where people are wanting to invest social impact funds in companies like Lavanya's, maybe find her partnerships there. So imagine me doing that for 1 lakh women owned businesses across 300 cities in the country. That's what I'm about to do.
That's the dream. Um, I know you asked me to open up, but really, one last question. क्योंकि सास
Can
भी
you imagine to sit there with a general counsel, somebody who's made it to the Harvard list, and then be elegantly grilled by her and coming out unscathed? That is an achievement.
it's not even a sweat for you. I know that. You've tolerated much worse on a daily basis.
It's a pleasure to tolerate you, don't worry.
Thank you. क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी. Can't go without asking, right? You went back to it. We run V for Her Foundation, which works on sexual violence. And what we found was a significant part of that problem is how women are perceived, how relationships are presented. And media plays such a big role in taking a society forward.
I think a society has to be so weak that it is dependent on media to take it forward. Honestly. We have to be intellectually, morally so incapacitated that a movie, a serial, a actor can define our morality and our moral compass. We cannot keep shifting the blame to XYZ. I was a part of the same ecosystem. In fact, worse off because I'm from a family where I'm the first female, the daughter to work. And I grew up in the 80s where women in cinema were not presented as though they are some business doyens. I could have very well said, अरे मैंने वो पिक्चर देखी उसमें औरत अबला है तो मैं अबला हूँ. That is nonsense. That is shirking responsibility. So, number one, we have to get out of the sense of victimhood that a movie or an Instagram post will define what I am as a human being or whether I have respect for another female or not. Because that is just shirking responsibility. That's me. Insofar as Kyuki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi goes, there are two reasons why I went back. One is when I left television, I left it at the peak of my career. I'm not one of those politicians whose one career died, so she came to another career. It is very easy to leave failure and then join another career. It's very difficult to be at the peak of your success and walk away from success. I wanted to prove in policy making and in politics and in administration that I'm a person to reckon with on issues of legislative or policy interventions or constitutional essentials. I proved that. But as somebody who has had a 2.5 decade journey in politics, if I have to then go back and convey that very thought process through a popular medium, how do I do it? So I went back to a medium which today connects and has 786 million linear TV homes in India. And I'm on an OTT platform that has captured at least 40% of the OTT market. So when I started Saas Bahu in 2000, there was no OTT. How do I create an understanding for myself whether what I believe in is relevant to the OTT generation? Is to go back to a Saas Bahu, which did not exist when OTT mushroomed or bloomed. Then to play a 60+ woman on it. I am not playing a glamorous woman on it. I'm playing a 60+-year-old matriarch who has glasses, who does not have some fancy bindi or a lipstick or jewelry. I said to the makers, if I played Stark, the makers thought I'm batshit crazy. Then I said, if I play a matriarch who has been a housewife for 4 decades and then steps out and works and leaves the husband, what happens then? She left. And she's talking to the husband every day, अरे divorce करो चाहो तुमको शादी करना है तुम करो. You know, so the whole concept has spun around. It has become acceptable. It's the number one show. And it's also number one on OTT, which means for a younger generation, which was possibly consuming content which is a lot of gali galoj. I mean, I know Anurag Kashyap well, but even Anurag Kashyap's movie Gangs of Wasepur began with a Saas Bahu scene. The first scene was me in Gangs of Wasepur, opening the door. Which means when I culturally contextualize, people who are watching me say Jai Sri Krishna every day. They are watching me say, respect your parents. They are watching me tell their daughter-in-law कि भाई तुम प्रोफेशनल हो, तुम डिसाइड करो तुम्हें क्या फीस लेनी है. They are watching me tell the son कि बीवी के ओपिनियन सुना करो. They are watching me tell girls कि अगर कोई आदमी तुमसे डावरी मांग रहा है, मंडप से उठ जाओ, no problem. So those are very psychological interventions which not many people are understanding that we are doing.
No, it's very visible.
It is?
Yes, it's very
Good.
visible.
We have, today's 14th. So tonight, maybe there is a scene between Tulsi and Mir where she tells me that this whole rose and Valentine Day card nonsense is nonsense. Because कल को वो चॉकलेट का रैपर, रोज का रैपर कहीं सड़क पे पड़ा होगा. और वो औरत जो आपको पूरा टाइम देगी, वो एक दिन बूढ़ी हो जाएगी and you possibly look at a younger woman. And by then the woman has left everything and she'll not know where to go. These are not conversations that are happening in any other show.
Absolutely.
So we
And
are
so
doing
important.
this. I'm telling the daughter, husband पीटता है, पुलिस का FIR फाइल करो, अभी डिवोर्स करो. Notice है मेरी दो शादियां टूट गई. Doesn't matter, better than getting beaten up. Come back home. Now those are conversations that we have started, and the fact that's number one means mindsets have changed. People appreciate that. So for me, that was a successful intervention. And as a professional, when I went back, today I told two young girls to take the check from you first. When I sat and negotiated my contract, I said, this is the value that I need as a professional. हाँ कैसे करेंगे? I said, that's your problem. I can deliver a number one show even after 25 years of coming back. That is what I've kept alive as a professional. And when they gave me a check, they said, अरे मैम सबको पता चलेगा. ऐसे मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मैं धड़ल्ले से हर औरत को कहने वाली हूँ, go negotiate a good contract, get yourself the best damn check out of that company and tell everybody else, measure up to my talent or go home.
That's the mentorship I was talking about, Davina.
So, I mean, for me, as a politician, as a professional, the fact that I'm not even 50, I'll be 50 in a few days, I wanted to also send a message to women my age that you can reimagine a career at the precipice of 50. Not be apologetic about it. I succeeded, you may fail, I have also failed. Doesn't matter. But reimagine, because what nobody is prepared for is your tenacity.
Lovely. Thank you. And now I'm going to respect her wishes and open it up.
Anyone with any question?
Please.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Pratibha, for opening for discussion. I'm Ritu Mathur. I was former director at CII, and I've worked with Tatas most of my life. A question or a comment is very personal to me, but it is relevant because you were the minister. So I faced sexual harassment at workplace, and I faced it at the time when there was no law. That was 2012. Law came in December 2013, right? So at that time, because I was a woman of voice, I took it up at my level, and my case was closed, and it was null and void because obviously you know how the nexus of seniority works. And I was asked to leave if I can't work in the same environment. But I said that there is no harm taking it up again, and I went to the board because there was no law, so there is no process or a framework as such. So I took it up to the board of that organization, and thankfully, my case was upheld and the perpetrator was asked to leave. So the story still doesn't end here. I got the win, I got everything due to me and everything, I was fine. But later on in the same organization, the law had come by then, I faced retaliation and I had to resign.
These are realities of life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I've been fighting a sexual harassment case in Patiala House since 2012. Even as minister, I used to go and stand next to rapists and murderers. If you're fighting for yourself and you talk about that fight, don't make yourself look like the victim again. Don't re-victimize yourself by saying, "Arey, wo reinstate ho gaya ya mere ko ye problem ho gaya." Every fight you take up, and I tell everybody, irrespective of whether they're man or woman, will have consequences.
Yeah.
And there'll be nobody to help you deal with the consequences.
No, I totally respect that, and I'm not trying to say the victim. I'm saying the
I'm
law
saying
still
that
does not.
what you're saying is what people should understand in its entirety. You fight, there'll be consequences.
Yes.
There'll be wins, even wins will have consequences.
Right.
And the consequences are going to be heavier if you're talented. People with no talent face no consequence.
Right.
Right. So every time somebody gets a pushback and they come to me and say, "I'm getting pushed back," I say, "Very good, that means you're talented."
Right.
क्योंकि डब्बू लोगों को कोई परेशान नहीं करता है.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree, and that is why I was asked to leave, because I was a top performer and obviously giving trouble to the seniority because of my. But that's pointing. No, I am saying that the framework still needs to be developed on this.
The law is very clear. I mean, better ask the council. The law does not dissuade you. What you are asking us to solve is complex human nature, which has nothing to do with the law. Because I'm sure if we look into your case file, and Pratibha is better positioned to answer this, everything that has happened to you would have happened to the letter of the law, given wherever you've served. You're asking for a solution for human behavior, which has nothing to do with law. They just knew how to deal with you with the law in hand.
The more important thing is to change the culture in the organization. As leaders, both men and women, I have Thiman sitting here who's like my co-conspirator to make sure, women do well in our organization across the portfolio companies too. You have to take up that responsibility in your next organization and make sure the culture, because she's absolutely right. Unless the problem you have is the culture,
It's
not
the
the law.
behavior, it's not the law.
No, but I will beg to differ here.
Then we can have a debate separately. Otherwise, we'll just start talking to you only.
Right.
Let's be fair to everybody else. You want to debate with her? Sign up, pay the fee, join the conversation.
Hi, ma'am. I'm a filmmaker from Bombay. I happen to be in this room because of Renu. Thank you so much, and Shiro's. And my question is, because I'm from films and you have done films and you're doing more work, there is again the same similar question. It's a very patriarchal setup. The whole system is very driven by patriarchy, and men are ruling the roost. And the problem that women are facing is, how do you sort of go beyond and interact with them on a day-to-day basis, especially when you're making films and you're trying to get money out of the system?
See, I'm one person who knows what the problem is in the industry. I will not spend my time with fools. I will take my biggest strength, which is my creative talent. My other big strength is my capacity to create capital backing. Once you have these two things, nobody will bother you. So what you currently need possibly is capital backing you. Once you have that, everybody will become your best friend.
And capital is with men mostly.
No, capital in terms of money that you need to bring to fruition your creative idea. So what I know of the industry for 30 years, 32 years I've worked there now, the industry, even when I was a nobody, I had $200 in my pocket. I'm the one human being who can stand up and say, I have never faced harassment in the industry. Never. I've been a producer. I've been an assistant EP. I have been a chief AD. I've run production. I have written. What I have written has actually got produced and has aired. And I've done short films production, and I have done theatre, and I've done television. So I've done the whole range. And in my entire 32 years, the industry, I've never, when I'm especially a nobody, that is when you get harassed the most. I've never faced harassment. It is genuinely about how you engage with people. Even when I had $200 in my pocket, everybody who dealt with me knew that they're dealing with an absolutely no-nonsense human being. One. Second, nobody messes with you when you go, apart from a creative idea, with money on the table. You need to know how to engage with money. A lot of what you produce will depend on the distribution network. If you're producing movie, it'll also depend on the movie studio. I work with somebody who owns a movie studio, happens to be female. Geo today is being headed by Jyoti, happens to be a female. So there isn't a dearth of female leadership in the production distribution network. It is just that I never go to somebody saying, oh, I'm a woman, so look at my work. I go and show them that if you are engaging with me financially, you will get 10x. And everybody I've worked with has made 10 times more money with me than any other actor or any other creative person they've engaged with. So nobody does me a favor because I'm a female. Nobody does me a disfavor because I'm a female. The only thing that matters when people engage with me is how much money I bring to the table. That is a harsh reality of the business that you're in. Once you get the money, they're your best friends. Nobody will harass you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, I'm Shubhi. So I'm a founder of a Section 8 company called Parijat. The moment you mentioned about the behavior, so we have been hearing about changing the behavior at the root cause to actually see the climate action happening. So can you help us know like how at the community level we can focus on those important terms called behavioral change, which
Is
you
your
think
business oriented towards it?
not really, not so this,
Then
that's
you
a
have
not
to-
for profit.
Then you have to bifurcate the two.
Yeah.
If your business, and I'm giving you genuine, transparent advice, is your business dependent on the community?
Not really, but I want to go through a community.
You have to first sit and ascertain,
Yeah.
is your business dependent on the community and its relationships? Because
Kind of,
if you are
yes.
trying to do a social intervention of change in behavior, it'll be a disruption for your business. Be very mindful of it.
Okay. Then how we can actually unpollute? That's my question.
Is to donate your personal time and services to organizations that are dedicated only to social change. Don't mix the two if you want to be successful in business.
Okay. And when you say that policy really do not help in changing the behavior, you still think that the policies like lifestyle for
Do
environment
you need a policy
will
to
help?
respect me?
Not really.
Do you need a
Ethics?
policy to tell me that you should not physically hit me?
No.
Do you need a policy to tell me that you should not publicly or privately abuse me?
No.
Do you need a policy to tell me, or for that matter, a policy in place to respect elders in your home?
Not really.
Do you need policy to be kind to kids in your home?
No.
Do you need a policy to be kind to your neighbors?
No.
Then,
That's what my question is. How to change that behavior?
like I said, sit down and first bifurcate.
Yeah.
Because this is a very generic thing. This is like going to a beauty contest and Miss World saying, I want to change the world. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
So don't ask me generic questions.
So that means we also need a money to do such
You want to
things.
give a speech or you want to ask a question?
No, ask a question. Like I just want to
So
understand.
I just gave you an answer.
Yeah.
Sit down first and evaluate. Are you the leader of your business?
Yeah.
Are you the leader or the employee?
No, I'm the leader. I have started it just now.
So now bifurcate that this X, let's say, if you want to help women in business and communities, connect with Renu Shah or
Absolutely.
connect with Garima Babbar. Give your time and your expertise there. But if you ask me, as a female, I need you to succeed in the business that you're leading right now, because
Okay.
that is going to affect social behavior.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like we need money to actually.
You need my validation or you need my money? Because money is sitting here.
Maybe a guidance only.
Money is here. Guidance is there.
Yeah.
I'm just here for the ride. Huh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I have an observation and question both. So, since I'm a first gen social entrepreneur, my whole family was like, NGO में job कर लो. My mom was also a professor, so it's very difficult for us to start and then understanding businesses, compliances. It is difficult, and I have been a part of many entrepreneurship cohorts, but still, I'm still learning. Secondly, cybercrime has become a very big problem, ma'am, and women entrepreneurs are a soft target globally. You mentioned US and UK. So, women who are selling their bags or collecting donations. I have been hacked. My Facebook, Gmail, LinkedIn, matlab kuch unhone nahi choda. They made posts from my Facebook and messages. So, it is a very big problem. Is there a policy in place? I went to a
Policy is in place, yes. But you
Ma'am,
will
I
have to
went to
hire.
Ji, I
You see,
went to
you'll
a
have to
cyber.
hire digital solutions for greater economic protection of either your company or the wares that you
Ji, ji.
sell.
We went to me and my father was really shaking. We went to Dwarka, the cybercrime unit, and he heard the whole thing, saw everything, and he said, "बेटा संडे को मूवी देखो." And I was like, "ये क्या है? मतलब आप इस पे एक्शन लीजिए."
See,
And
ऐसा है,
जी,
we'll all have stories like that.
पुलिस मैम नहीं
Okay,
है.
even I have those stories. Issue is, my just 2 bits of advice, which is now unsolicited.
Yeah.
Genuinely focus on this stage. 2 people and 2 people there. One is a lawyer who has money. Okay? No,
Yeah.
I'm telling you
I
to
was
focus.
coming to
because
that.
You're
Yeah.
a youngster, so you need to focus.
जी.
This is not an opportunity for you to tell me, मेरे साथ ये हुआ. You have a mic in your hand. I never had this opportunity, so I'm teaching you. Okay? You have Garima sitting there from Primus, who works with 18 governments in the country. Okay? You have Renusha, who is working not only with regulators, government, issues of compliance, how to help businesses start, blah, blah, blah. You have 3 people here that you need to talk to.
Yes.
Never waste the mic and the opportunity.
No, but this is important, ma'am, because money
So
is
get to the
generated.
question.
Ji, money is generated through those digital platforms.
Yes, so
and
the
we are going
question
to
is
AI.
that you're going through a challenge as to how to
Yeah.
project your digital asset. That is
Ji,
your question.
ji. And
Correct?
secondly, ma'am,
What is the second question?
funding for women entrepreneurs has been.
So that check that you
हाँ
have.
जी. When-
No, seriously, I'm telling you this. One is to talk to Renu about how to protect digital assets. She'll tell you.
Yeah.
Second, that check that you have,
Ji.
you do well with that check.
Ji.
Then between Renu and Garima, they will call Pratibha Jain again.
Yeah.
First, what you have in your hand,
Yeah.
utilize it so well
Ji.
that she has a great recall of every place she goes to and every check she hands out.
Yes. Sir.
They will help you. Never lose opportunities like this.
जी मैम बट व्हाट यू सेड टुवर्ड्स तपन आल्सो कि उनको 75,000 रुपीस मिला तो मैम आई हैव आल्सो सीन इन मेनी विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कोहॉर्ट्स लाइक इट्स लाइक अ टोकन एंड बहुत सी एंटरप्राइजेस 3-4 साल के बाद वो दम तोड़ देती हैं क्योंकि उन्हें
नहीं
प्रॉपर
देखिए
फंडिंग
आप
नहीं
ना
मिलता
एक मैं बात
जी
बताऊं I just told that one lady there I started with
Yeah.
$200.
हाँ जी
Okay, I'm not going to explain my net worth today,
यस
but let me give you an image. Maybe that will tell you. In Shantiniketan, Delhi, ask anybody who's from Delhi. That is supposed to be the epicenter of poshness. When I was 7 years old, I used to sell books with my father on the street. Okay? Today I own a house there.
नाइस
Okay?
कंग्रेट्स
That does not happen. I never got a 2 lakh rupee check in my life. You have it. So appreciate it.
आई अप्रिशिएट
Learn to use it.
थैंक यू
You're already thinking psychologically
Yeah.
of what all will go wrong.
नो
You're already reflecting on what all shut down. You're psychologically
this we have
already.
faced ma'am and we are
We've all faced.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've come from the sadak. Okay. The issue is, if I told myself at the age of, Arey, everybody fails, everybody is on the street selling stuff, will never get there, I wouldn't be here. So the idea is to stop psychologically and mentally creating misery for yourself. The idea is to keep telling yourself, बाकी सब fail हुए होंगे उनका problem है, मैं fail नहीं होने वाली. You have 2 lakhs which Tapan does not have.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, he does not have it, you have it.
Yeah.
use it. He genuinely looks better positioned to take that 75,000 run and one day end up with 75 lakhs from Pratibha Jain. Do that.
Yes, yes.
So, just so you know, B4 Foundation has aggregated hours for women entrepreneurs to get legal advice. Takedowns happen regularly in court. You just need to get to court, get a takedown order, and all these.
You can't be bogged down because somebody said picture dekhi hai. When I mean, my life's, how do I say this, savings as a child was one cycle which somebody in RK Puram ran away with, stole. As what, 10-year-old I don't remember the age. I walked into the police station as a kid. I said, FIR likho. And the cop looked at me and said, "Tu pagal hai kya?" I said, "Nahi, meri cycle चुराई है किसी ने." So the issue is you will meet every kind of person. They will give you every kind of conversation. That cannot become your one thing to hold on to. You have a great ecosystem. Leverage that ecosystem.
What ma'am is saying is that's just not a check. It's an ecosystem that you're now a part of.
It's a better ecosystem than that kid. I don't know what you did to get more money. But there's something that you did. So ask. Did you go and ask people who gave you this as to what made you so special? That's the first thing you should do. Go ask. What made you stand out? Don't be happy, take the trophy and the check and go home. First go and ask. There were so many people vying for it. And you ended up in a tie? Huh. So what is it that made you guys end up in a tie and you didn't beat the other person? If I was in your place, वो गत्ते का चेक है, वो तो वैसे भी आएगा. I would have taken the time to go and ask, why didn't I beat the other person? And what made me stand out?
These are pearls of wisdom. I mean, a mindset change.
Anyone else?
Ma'am,
Sir, आप
are
तो
you-
बड़े एक्सपीरियंस लग रहे हैं, आपको क्या पूछना है? आप तो छोड़ो सर.
Ma'am, I have no questions for you because I'm already overwhelmed with all the
Thank
stories.
you. So give the mic to somebody else.
Ma'am, just a moment of appreciation for taking out time for us, and also I'll thank
Again, one
Uncle
big
you.
mistake. What's your name?
Ma'am, Smriti Mohanty. I'm from Odisha, and
So
ma'am,
you know what people like me do? We go
ma'am.
into a room. We talk to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Because when people like me, Pratibha, we work now, we become a part of circuits where everybody is talking nicely to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So we use these opportunities to go out and meet people who are doing everyday struggles. So it's not a favor I'm doing to you. You're doing me a favor by talking to me. Remember that.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was just encashing this moment to just realize this moment because I was a huge fan when I was watching you in Kabhi Saas Bhi Kahi Bahu Thi.
Thank you for the paycheck.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
There was the gentleman at the back. ये कैमरा वाले भैया, मैं आप ही को देख पा रही हूँ, आपकी पीठ. जो इंसान बोल रहा है उसको देख ही नहीं पा रही हूँ.
Hello, hi.
हाँ,
Hi, ma'am.
hello.
Thank you for your responses. Ma'am, my question is when
What's
you
your
were
name?
Ma'am, my name is Rohit. I'm a lawyer and I run a not-for-profit.
कितने वकील है इस कमरे में?
Yeah,
हाँ.
yeah.
Lawyer from where, Rohit?
Ma'am, I run a not-for-profit. It's called Awaaz
अरे
Leadership
वो सब
Labs.
ठीक है. किधर? कौन सा शहर?
I'm based out of New Delhi. मैं दिल्ली से हूँ, but हूँ MP से originally. Yeah. तो मैम मेरा सवाल ये है कि जब आप पॉलिटिक्स में थी और
मुंबई.
सॉरी या सॉरी मैम हाउ डू यू होल्ड द डिस्कम्फर्ट व्हेन पीपल हु आर
Who said I'm discomforted by what?
when people who are accused of rape or gender violence are sitting right on your side, so how do you hold that discomfort?
I trust the judicial process of my country. I trust the electoral process of my country. Like I said, Rohit, I go to Patiala House. This is 2026. I filed the case in 2012. If you look at parliamentary records, I'm the person who spoke on behalf of the opposition on the sexual harassment at workplace bill. I'm the person who spoke when POXO was introduced. I'm the person who has been in touch with Nirbhaya's mother 2 hours after the incident. Okay, I'm the person who brought in intervention into the Juvenile Justice Act. I'm the one who introduced Cybercrime is a crime in Juvenile Justice Act. But for 14 years, 12 years, I went diligently to Patiala House, seeking justice on a sexual harassment case at workplace. That case is still pending.
And still you have hope, so it's great to see that.
Because if that is a price that you pay for being a democracy, and if people like me give up on hope, how can I preach it to others? I have told people believe in the judicial process of the country. And the fact that I stood in Patiala House since 2012 to 2026, that is also an indication to the people that just because I'm a politician, I don't get fast tracked.
Thank you for your response.
Please meet me afterwards. Huh? I am going to be very, very unpopular right now
Because she's bringing it to a close.
Yeah.
One last
Kindly.
question, if there is an opportunity.
No, there's a lady here in line.
Thank you. Understood.
Hopefully, ma'am can stay for 10-15 minutes and you can interact with her. But I have the responsibility of closing in time. But not without thanking you once again for taking up, very important mantle with Women's Collective and for supporting STEP today. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. And all the best to everybody who won and everybody who didn't. Please go and ask the jury members as to what they found deficient in your presentation. It'll just help you become better for the next one. So all the best for the next one.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Pratibha. May I kindly request ma'am and Pratibha to kindly stay on stage. We would like to felicitate you, please. Please. We would love the honor to do that.
The honor of having a conversation with Pratibha is the honor.
I insist, the privilege, ma'am. Can I invite Renu Shah, the founder of STEP, and Mr. Rawal, the founder of our gifting partner, Aj. And a huge round of applause for the wonderful, the fiery, and the brilliant fireside chat with ma'am and Pratibha Jain. Ma'am, please. Thank you so much, ma'am.